If your business runs on memory, sticky notes, and inbox panic, AI is not your biggest problem. The real problem is simpler and more annoying. Too many tiny tasks still depend on you remembering to do them. A lead comes in. You mean to follow up. A client says yes. You need to send the onboarding email. A meeting ends. Someone should capture the action items. An invoice is overdue. Someone should chase it. A happy customer finishes a job. Someone should ask for the review. And by someone, of course, we mean you. Because apparently, your business model is now remembering things until your soul quietly leaves the building. So today, we are fixing the leak. Not with a giant software monster, not with a robot pretending to be your entire company. Just 7 practical AI automations I would set up first for almost any small business. The goal is not to automate everything. The goal is to stop losing time, leads, and calm to admin that should already have a system. Welcome to Operator Stack. Practical AI workflows for small business. No hype, no fake guru nonsense. Just systems that do useful work. First, email triage and draft replies. Most people start in the wrong place. They try to make AI answer every email automatically. That is how you get a robot confidently apologizing to your biggest client with the emotional intelligence of a toaster. Start safer. A useful email triage system does 3 things. It labels incoming messages by type: lead, support, invoice, booking request, supplier, personal, or low priority. It summarizes long emails into 1 or 2 useful lines, and it drafts a reply for you to approve. The workflow is simple. New email comes in, AI classifies it, the system adds a label, and a draft reply appears. You still review before anything sends. That is the important part. Automation should remove busy work, not create lawsuits. Second, lead capture and instant follow-up. Here is the conflict. Someone fills out your contact form and then waits 2 days while the message slowly fossilizes in your inbox. By then, they are probably talking to someone else. A basic lead system captures the form, adds the person to a CRM or spreadsheet, sends an instant confirmation, alerts you, and creates a follow-up task. AI can summarize what they need and tag the lead by service type, urgency, or value. If someone writes, "I need a quote for weekly cleaning across 3 offices," the system can tag it as commercial, recurring, and high priority. That is much better than treating every inquiry like a random blob of text. The goal: no lead disappears into the inbox swamp. Third, client onboarding. A client says yes. Good news. Then the admin avalanche starts. Send the welcome email. Share the intake form. Create the folder. Add the project. Schedule the kickoff. Explain the same next steps again. That should not be a heroic act of memory. That should be a workflow. A client onboarding automation can send the welcome email, share an intake form, create a client folder, add the client to your project board, create internal tasks, and generate a short internal brief. Instead of reading a messy form every time, you get a clean summary. What they need, what tools they use, the deadline, and the priority. The client feels looked after. You do not have to rebuild the same admin sequence every time someone signs up. Fourth, meeting notes and action items. AI meeting notes are everywhere now. But notes are not the win. Follow-up is the win. A good meeting workflow records or transcribes the call, creates a summary, extracts decisions, extracts action items, sends a recap, and creates tasks. A summary sitting in an app is mildly useful. A summary that turns into reminders, tasks, and a client recap is a system. Do not automate chaos. First, make the process clear. Then automate the handoff. Fifth, invoice and payment follow-ups. This one is boring, which is exactly why it should be automated. A lot of small businesses do not have a revenue problem as much as they have a follow-up problem. Invoices go out. Nobody checks. Payment is late. Someone remembers 2 weeks later. Now the follow-up is awkward. A simple system checks due dates and sends reminders. 3 days before due. Polite reminder. On the due date. Payment due today. 7 days overdue. Firmer follow-up. 14 days overdue. Internal alert. Let the dates decide when reminders happen. Let AI help with wording. That is the sane version. Sixth, review and testimonial requests. Most happy customers will not leave a review unless you ask at the right time. The right time is after a completed job, a resolved issue, a successful delivery, or positive feedback. A simple workflow waits 24 hours, sends a thank you message, and asks for a review or testimonial. AI can personalize the request based on the service delivered, so it feels specific instead of robotic. Yes, asking for reviews feels awkward. So does being invisible online. Pick your awkward. Seventh, the weekly business dashboard. This is the one most people skip. They automate emails, forms, notes, and invoices, but never build a report that tells them what happened. A weekly dashboard can summarize new leads, booked calls, completed jobs, overdue invoices, revenue, website traffic, customer questions, and overdue tasks. Then AI turns the data into plain English. Something like, leads increased, booked calls dropped, 3 invoices are overdue, and most new inquiries asked about emergency availability. That is useful. If you cannot see the pattern, you cannot improve the system. So here is the order I would use. Start with email triage, then lead capture, then client onboarding, then meeting notes, then invoice reminders, then review requests, then weekly reporting. Do not build all 7 in one weekend. That is how you create a digital junk drawer with API keys. Pick the task you repeat the most. Build the simplest version. Run it for a week. If it saves time and does not break anything, improve it. If it creates more work, delete it or simplify it. Automation is not the goal. A calmer business is the goal. In the next video, we will build a basic client onboarding workflow using free or low-cost tools. Subscribe if you want practical AI systems without the circus music.